It was 12:47 a.m. when I started comparing my life to strangers again. You know the ritual. One more scroll, one more success story, one more engagement photo, promotion post, moving announcement, so grateful caption with perfect lighting and carefully casual confidence. By 1:03 a.m., my chest felt tight, and my thoughts were speaking in bullet points. You are behind. You wasted time. You should have figured this out already. I am not proud of how quickly I believe that voice. The strange part is I can be compassionate with everyone else. I can look at a friend and say, "You are doing fine. Life is not a race." But when the camera turns inward, I become a strict manager, auditing delayed deliverables. That night, I put my phone face down and asked one question out loud in an empty room. Behind what? Not rhetorically, literally. Behind whose map? Behind which destination? Behind what timeline I never consciously approved? The room was quiet, but the question stayed. Most of my anxiety was not original. It was borrowed. Borrowed from family expectations dressed as concern. Borrowed from classmates' LinkedIn milestones. Borrowed from productivity culture that treats rest like an ethical failure. Borrowed from younger me, who thought adulthood arrived in a neat package with instructions. When you are anxious about being behind, it is worth auditing the source code. Whose voice is this? Who benefits if I stay panicked? What would I choose if no one were watching? I wrote those questions on a sticky note and put it next to my mirror. Not because one note can heal years of comparison, because friction matters. If I am going to run the old script, I want interruption points. This is what I have learned. Comparison is efficient, but inaccurate. It is fast because it ignores context. You compare your rough draft to their highlight reel, your healing timeline to their announcement post, your internal complexity to their external branding. No wonder it hurts. There was a year where I looked very on track. I posted polished updates. I hit public milestones. I said yes to opportunities that sounded impressive in conversation. People congratulated me often. I was miserable. Not dramatic misery, functional misery. The kind where you keep delivering while quietly disconnecting from yourself. I mistook external momentum for internal alignment. By the end of that year, I had a stronger resume and a weaker relationship with my own body. Sleep was inconsistent. Anxiety was constant. I had stopped asking basic questions like, do I actually want this? Because wanting felt less urgent than keeping up. I used to measure progress with public markers: title, income, relationship status, how quickly I could answer what's next. Now my metrics are quieter. Can I tell the truth faster? Can I recover from a bad day without self-abandonment? Can I make decisions from values instead of panic? Can I rest without defending it? These metrics are less photogenic. They are also more predictive of a life I can sustain. One morning, instead of writing a goals list, I wrote a stability list. Sleep before midnight 3 times this week. Walk without headphones twice. Send one honest message instead of 10 polished ones. That list changed more than any annual plan I have made. Not because it was ambitious, because it was executable. I spent years apologizing for moving slowly. Now I think slowness gave me better data. When I moved too fast, I chose what was loudest. When I slowed down, I noticed what was true. There is a specific shame around pace in modern life. If you are not accelerating, people assume you are failing. If you pause, they assume you are lost. But pace is not morality. A slower path can still be disciplined. A delayed decision can still be wise. A quiet season can still be productive in ways no one can screenshot. If your life currently feels late, maybe you are not late. Maybe you are finally in a tempo your nervous system can trust. That is not falling behind. That is becoming durable. I used to deny envy because it felt impolite. Now I treat envy like information. If I feel envy when someone publishes a book, maybe I miss writing seriously. If I feel envy when someone takes a sabbatical, maybe I need rest I keep postponing. If I feel envy when someone sets boundaries cleanly, maybe I am tired of negotiating mine. Envy can be corrosive if you let it stay vague. It becomes useful when you translate it. Not, I want their life. More like, I want a life where that quality is present. That translation gave me agency back. You do not need to become them. You need to identify what your envy is pointing toward and build your own version. A mentor once told me, if your standards are fully public, you do not have standards. You have branding. That line rearranged me. So I started building private standards. Did I keep a promise to myself this week? Did I tell one difficult truth without cushioning it into dishonesty? Did I choose one meaningful task over 5 performative ones? No one applauds these metrics. That is exactly why they work. Public validation is unstable fuel. Private integrity burns slower and cleaner. When I feel behind now, I check private standards first. If they are intact, I am not behind. I am on my own track. Maybe on time has never meant same time. Maybe on time means the lesson arrives when you are finally willing to integrate it. The boundary arrives when your body is done negotiating. The right work arrives when your identity can hold it without collapse. By that definition, I was not late. I was loading capacity. I needed extra seasons to unlearn urgency as identity. I needed extra seasons to stop confusing pressure with purpose. If you are in an extra season right now, please do not waste it by calling it failure. Name it what it is. Foundation. I wrote a short agreement with myself and taped it to the inside of my closet door. I will not rush decisions to reduce discomfort. I will not call myself behind when I am actually resting. I will not use other people's milestones as evidence against my worth. I will move in a way I can sustain. That agreement did not remove anxiety. It gave anxiety less authority. Now, when the old voice says you're behind, I answer with evidence. I am sleeping better. My boundaries are clearer. My work is slower and more aligned. I trust my no. This is not behind. This is different. And different is often where real life begins. If no one has told you this lately, let this be the sentence. You are not behind. You are in progress. Progress is not always visible from the outside. Sometimes it looks like therapy appointments no one knows about, unsent messages, better sleep, fewer panic decisions, leaving one room quietly, returning to yourself gradually. The internet rewards velocity. A life rewards alignment. And alignment takes time. So if you need permission to move at your own pace, consider this your signed document. Take the slower road if it is truer. Take the quieter road if it is kinder. Take the road that lets you remain a person, not just a performance. Your pace is still a pace.